Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you want to be a lurker, that's also okay. We got Lashbrook and Lord Crashington here commenting on the music that was playing. Which is great. Hey to you, Lord Crashington. Hi. And Lashbrook, hello. Yes, that music is very 2000s WW pay-per-view theme. Early 2000s pay-per-view theme. Yeah. Early to mid, I would say yes. That was the rock playlist, which sometimes is pretty heavy. And sometimes is very Midwest emo. But that is Twitch soundtrack, which is their service of music that will not trip a DMCA notice. It is good. It is good to use. So that's great. So my VODs don't trip anything. They won't be included in my YouTube VODs, but whatever. So it means that I can also, by using those, I can also have VOD audio stay. So like video games and other things that have audio in them, they'll be embedded in the VOD, which is good. I want that. I want the VODs to have some audio. Like my dance song, which you could obviously at any time have me hit, which is the last day of it, because it's the end of the month. Folks, we are here October 31st. It's Halloween. It is the last stream where I'll be wearing these cat ears, because this is not a thing that I'm just like gonna be doing from now on. So tomorrow I won't have the cat ears unless I forget. I don't think I'll forget, but I might. Tomorrow will be the first stream of November, because it'll be November 1st. I'm playing Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. I wanted to do that 2 weeks ago, 2 Tuesdays ago, but I was under the weather, feeling sick, so I took that stream off. And then this past Tuesday, we played Jackbox Party Pack 9. So now I'm playing Pokemon Platinum Randomizer, which I've been meaning to do. And I grinded a little bit. We're going to go for our third, I believe. Maybe our fourth, but I think our third gym battle. Excited for that. That's tomorrow, though. Tonight, I'm working on the Shenlong. The upper part of this kit is done. All I have left here is the backpack. There's not much of the backpack. The waist and the legs, because I did the feet. And then the weapons. And the weapon is just a shield, which is only like a couple pieces. And the trident, which is not much to build. So we're going to finish this tonight. I might stay a couple minutes late to wrap it up, but I do expect to 100% getting concluding this kit. And I got the Gelgoog up next. That's on deck. That was voted by my patrons about the next thing I should build. When was that released? This is a 2000 and I just have it here. 2002. This is the oldest kit I have in my backlog. Not the kit that's been in my backlog the longest. That's the Ale Strike, which I bought in 2021. But the Gelgog, which is a kit from the year 2002, is the oldest kit in my backlog. And that's the next thing I'm going to be... Gelgoog is the next thing I'm going to build. I used to call it the Gelgog, but it's the Gelgoog because there's two O's. The Gelgoog Marine, which is very similar to the regular Gelgoog, only it has... water-based stuff. Yeah, it's got some additional things. And it's a different color. It's a cool colors. Cool colors. That's the next thing. But the Shenlong Gundam is what we're working on tonight. Reminder, we are currently at 30 subscribers. The goal is always to be at 40. We are not near our goal. We're more than halfway to our goal. You could look at it if you wanted to look at it positively. We are 3/4 of our way to the goal. That's pretty good. It's not at the goal, but it's pretty good. So if you want to become a subscriber, you could do that. If you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that as well. It's a little less stressful now because the $100 payout is now a $50 payout. So I'm going to get some kind of money every month if we're not at 40. 40 was where we were like 40, we were safe and we were going to get that payout. Now we're lower than that, and so it's okay. It just means that less money means I have less model kits to buy, or I have to buy cheaper stuff, like smaller items, and not like cool, weird stuff from Premium Bandai, which, not everybody buys, and it's stuff that I like. Hey, Aristovan, welcome. I like being able to buy stuff from Premium Bandai, like cool, weird stuff. But I can't do that as much if my numbers are low. You're going to put that out there. We're not in trouble, but we're in more frugal. I got to be a little more frugal, which is a shame because I want to buy cool, weird stuff, and instead I will buy cool stuff. Pat needs that bread. I mean, I do. Anyway, I'm going to reply to my own tweet, and we're going to get in there. Daddy needs his model kits, is what I'll say there. I'm not Daddy. Don't worry about it. All right. Let's go here. It's leg day, and I'm wearing cat ears because it's Halloween. It's not really a big This is not a great costume, but it is something. I wanted to do something for the holiday, and I thought this would be fun. I didn't want to get cat ear headphones. I got these little attachments. Thought they'd be neat. And also, they're just going to go in a drawer, and I'll put them in a Ziploc or something. And then they will be available for future use, if there's ever a reason for me to have that. Perhaps next year, when I am going to be doing some character work. More on that next year. The schedule for PAX Unplugged came out. I have one panel right now. Let's see, are we doing both legs here? We're doing most of both legs. Great. We'll do almost all of both legs at the same time. Great. If you want to see me at PAX Unplugged, I'm there on Friday. You can come see me. Not streamed live, but will be recorded. And I still have to verify and finish booking my guests for the panel, but I will update people on that soon. The nice thing is, by the schedule being up, I know who's going, and I can look at a bunch of panels and see who's available, and maybe reach out to them as long as they are not in panels opposing my panel, and be like, "Hi, people I know, what's up? Didn't know you were going." Or people I don't know, "Hey, my contact, please let me get in touch with this person, because they would be great for my panel," as well as reaching out to some other people. I have a maybe from a friend of mine from New York who likes going to PAX and is considering just going for the day. So we're currently in negotiations on that, because I was like, hey, if you want to pass, do my panel, then you're a speaker, get a speaker badge. If you were looking for that, come down for the day, take the train down. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. So we'll see. Perhaps I will have a friend join me for some shenanigans. I would love it. Somebody I didn't get to see when I was up there in October, so that would be neat. Let's see. Other things we can talk about tonight. Let me go down here. It's Manga Monday. We'll talk about some manga in a little bit. Got some anime for the second hour. Some video game stuff to talk about. This one is short. We got some news coverage that we could, some news stuff we can talk about here. Spry Fox, the game developer Spry Fox, has been acquired. They will be joining Netflix gaming division. Netflix has a gaming division, got some games and stuff. They are now the sixth studio. You may know Spry Fox as the makers of Cozy Grove, Triple Town, Alpha Baer, Steam Birds, and Bushido Bear, and at least one other game with Baer in it. They are currently working on Cozy Grove 2, which is, from their own mouths, Cozy Grove 2 is a non-violent MMO, and that seems fun. Cozy Grove's good. Yes, I like Cozy Grove. I like Triple Town. I'm a fan of this developer. And, it's, hey, they put out a statement. Take what it is. They've existed for a very long time. They seem fairly happy about having consistent funds That they seem to be pretty happy with that. Who knows how it'll turn out? Happy Halloween to you, Miles. Thank you. But acquisitions like it's a studio I wouldn't think of as a studio that would get acquired, but they have been. If anybody likes to spend money, it's Netflix. Yes, and they seem to think that this is the 2022 Shenlong. Yes, this is the along with the same line as the Heavy Arms and the Death Scythe from last year. This is the 2022 Shenlong kind of remodel, which is great. It has been fun to put together. This has been a pleasant assembly. Oh, and then I need... Oh, I apparently missed... I just skipped a step. That's fun. I got all the parts put out, but I forgot to build part of the leg here, so I got to put that together. These are B parts, and then some other 8s. Okay, I can do that. But yeah, so Spry Fox joining the Netflix gaming family, and hopefully it will be cool for them. Yeah, they seem pretty psyched about it. Let's see other things. Mo says I started the high grade Helios Gundam base clear edition from New York Comic Con. Finished up with the RX-782 yesterday. This is definite addiction. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, model kits are fucking fun to put together. They're like, you follow the instructions, you start with a bunch of parts, you end up with a thing that you can like display that looks cool. And then you can get into like painting or marker work or applying the water slide decals or whatever. Or you could just build it right out of the box and say like, that's it. That's good for me. It is rewarding and is fun. I mean, I've been doing this as a streamer for a few years now because I really enjoy that process. But like, it's been a nice excuse for me to just build model kits because I really like building model kits. It's been really nice to have that reason to do it. Oh, my eye has been... I don't think I scratched anything. It's just like... Doesn't feel like a scratch, but it does feel like I just have to rub my eye, and that's annoying because I'm on stream right now. All right, 3 and 4. What was I going to say? So we should probably talk about the super game that Sega wants to make. Sega has meant this is not the first time that Sega has talked about the super game, but they got into a little more details about the super game. Basically, this is the grand plan of our friends at Sega. They could make one game that is so amazing, so revolutionary, so unbelievable that it could do better than any other game they've ever made before. And you hear that, right? You hear that coming out of Sega, and you say, well, yeah, everybody wants to make a super game. What the fuck are you talking about? But they're going all in. They're like, by March 2026. So we're giving it a few years and some months. We're gonna have the super game, and it's gonna like kick ass, and you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm definitely going to spend a lot of money on this. Now, do you think, I'm just gonna put this out there, do you think that declaring any video game a super game is like begging people to prove you wrong? And like, whenever they put, like, the expectations have to be really high if you're like, this could make us $600 million or whatever. Like, if you are saying that you are making a game that is a super game, wouldn't it have to be fucking unbelievable? Like, I'm just going to throw out this. Like, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a game publisher, right? I don't know shit. John says Sega is not making a Fortnite anytime soon. Well, here's the thing. Do you think that Epic was like, we're making a super game when they made Fortnite? No. Epic was like, oh shit, we just spent a lot of money making Fortnite and people hate it. What if we tried to make PUBG in this engine that we've already spent a lot of money on and will not get a good return on our investment? And then they got fucking lucky. You make a good video game and it takes off and you go, how did we do that? You don't say, we're gonna, like, in the same way that I have had conversations in my life with people who have used the term viral video. They wanted to make a viral video. They were looking to make the next big viral video. And the thing you have to say to those people that they do not want to hear is, I can help you make a video and it could go viral, but you can't fucking create a viral video. You can only create a video and then maybe give it the room it needs to go viral, or give it a few pushes here and there. But like, if people don't think it's good or bad, it doesn't. There's no formula to it. If you start out saying make a viral video, you already fucked up. Yup. Epic stumbled in one of the biggest games of the decade. Yes, 100%. Like, it is a stumble. It is a series of fortunate events. But like, let's see. That kind of community expands and further develops game content, adding a value to the game that is unimagined by developers and sparking a broader movement, which can then draw even more users and grow the game's presence dramatically. But basically, they're just like, hey, we're going to try to make more money off of Sonic and Persona and Total War, which, yeah, you should. But it's just complete and utter nonsense. Like, I don't know what else to tell you about it. Like, I wish I had, like, there's no punchline to it, because the very idea of it is the punchline to me. Like, there's, wait, I missed a piece. I'm like, this doesn't look right. Why does this look wrong? And I'm like, oh, of course it doesn't look right. I'm missing a important piece to it. I got so heated. Yes, the game also, yes, like I said, Fortnite, when we think of Fortnite, we don't think of the actual game Fortnite. That we think of the game that exists now, Fortnite. Yeah, it's just a confluence of like a lot of luck. I just got very lucky on it. Trophies achievements are only for the Save the World mode, so 99.99% of people have 0 achievements in the game. Yes, because people aren't playing Save the World. People are playing Fortnite. They're playing they're playing the Fortnite. I would say that it would be reasonable to assume that only a small portion of the actual audience of Fortnite has ever heard of Save the World, that mode. Just no concept of it. Let's see. Yes, Sega's still making money. They lost a little bit of money, but like, basically they're just like, yeah, we're gonna try to. Their 3-year plan is just like strengthen, the franchises we have, and then their 5-year plan in creation of a super game. So Sega's big 5-year plan is make a good video game. Like that, if you want to go down to brass tacks, if you really want to get down to meat and potatoes on it, you really want to just like bottom line this shit. Sega's big strategy is make a very good video game that people want to buy. That's the whole thing. We got 5 years to make a super video game. Yes. Yeah, I mean, like, I also think it's a good idea to make a good video game, like a super game. Sure. That's like super groups. like in music, we use the term supergroup basically just to mean anybody that's been if people who were successful in a band start a band where everyone in that band is the successful member of another band, it's a supergroup. And like in some instances, that's true. But in other instances, it's just like, okay, so one of the guys from Fountains of Wayne is in a band with a guy from Cheap Trick and another guy, and that's a supergroup? I don't know if it is. And the guy from it's like Them Crooked Vultures. I think is Them Crooked Vultures the band I'm thinking of. Let me a little bit look this up. Let me look this up. Them Crooked Vultures. Yes. It's Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin, Dave Grohl. Okay, this was different. This is actually Them Crooked Vultures is a supergroup. This is not what I was thinking of. There is a different supergroup that I was thinking of that also I think had somebody from Queens of the Stone Age. So maybe Them Crooked Vultures is probably wrong. That's probably the wrong example of what I was thinking of. But I do love the idea that like, yeah, there was like a guy from Fountains of Wayne and like someone from Cheap Trick was in a band with like a couple other people, and they were like this super group, and it's just like, I guess we'll see. Lord Crashton wants to get the dance button. Speaking of music, it's the last night that I can play this song before we get a new song. So here we go. Oh yeah. Get some claps in. There's some claps. There are some computer-generated claps. These are not recorded hand claps, real claps. And then, oh yeah. Oh, just a little bit. Ooh. Just some keys. There's some, not just regular old piano. This is organ. We got some organ here. And then, that's right. Forget the organ, it's time for the keyboard. And that's as much as we're getting to that. That's the most we've ever heard of that song. I think it just kind of repeats that. But yes, organ and keyboard. That song has it all. But anyway, Lord Creston also says, don't make bad games as the second part of the plan. Yes, make a super... Oh, so here's the thing, right? The implied idea of the super game is that it's good and it sells well. I don't even know if good or great, or I think they're like, it should be revolutionary, which is like, cool, how? And also it should be incredibly successful. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I hope Sega does make a super game, because it would be neat for there to be a super game. A major title that scales globally. And also, I'm just going to throw it out there, they should call it Super Game. They should just call it Super Game, because that's a good name for a video game. Super Game. Yes, Super Service Game, yeah. Oh, you know it's going to be a service game. It's going to be a service game. It's going to have seasons and a battle pass and unlockables, even though it was a full-priced game, and it'll be $70 if you're lucky. But it'll probably be $80 because they got to recoup their investment on their super game. Super game. Also, hey, EA and Marvel are making video games. Action-adventure games. Are they going to be really action-adventure games? Who knows? But there's going to be an Iron Man game, and then, let's see here. We got here. EA's like, yeah, we're going to make a Marvel game. There's an Iron Man game, and people said there, I believe there's also talk of the second game going to be a Black Panther game, and then they don't know what the third game's going to be, but it's like a 3 thing. Let's see. But yeah. Okay, yeah, that's just a press release. Sorry. So, 3 different action adventure. Sorry, it's an action adventure game. It's not just an adventure game. It's an action adventure game. It would be cool if EA was making adventure games. It's set in the Marvel universe, but they're making action adventure games, which is different. The first title in development being this is going to be the Iron Man game will be a single player, third person action adventure Iron Man game coming out of Motive Studios. Will there be more? I mean, there's going to be 3. Will they all be Iron Man games? I have to assume not. As I said, the rumor is that one of them is going to be the second one will be a what do you call it? Black Panther. That is the rumor. That's not in the press release. That's just a rumor. That's rumors and speculation, my friends. But anyway, I mean, sure. That sounds cool. Iron Man's fine. Like that. Hey, guess what? Being in a cool mech suit and flying around doing stuff sounds pretty fun. Sounds pretty fun. If you're going to pick a Marvel character that isn't Spider-Man, that you can fly around and be Iron Man. That sounds pretty cool. I'm up for that. You upgrade your suit throughout the game. You get the different mock suits. Sure. Like in Anthem. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Dirty. Everyone's always talking about Anthem. I don't know. That could be good. We'll see. I mean, I do like the idea of a single player games, big single player games coming in. That sounds good to me. I'm up for that. I am no joke up for that. I like me some single player games. I've been playing a lot of multiplayer games lately because that's what I have to play, but to hang out with friends. But some single player action sounds good to me as well. Yeah, nothing much about that. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about Spry Fox. Okay. We talked about this on Saturday or Thursday. I can't remember. But in the past stream, 1 or 2 streams ago, we talked about an update on Season 4 of the Witcher Netflix series. Season 3 comes out next year and will be Henry Cavill's last season. And then Liam Hemsworth becomes the Witcher. It takes over the role, not a new character. And people were like, oh, I guess Henry Cavill talked a big game about loving the series, huh? I guess he talked a lot of mess about how he was in for the long haul and how he was like so psyched to do it and was such a big fan of the books. And oh, look at this. Runs off to be fucking Superman and ducks out, huh? And other people were like, well, he keeps talking about how he is constantly fighting with the showrunners about the show. Specifically about how he wants it to be more accurate to the books. So maybe Henry, like this is conjecture on people's parts, right? No official statements on this, but maybe Henry was just sick of fighting for a character and a direction of a character that was just never going to go that way. Basically because our Witcher, Geralt, is witty in the books. He's a bit of a philosopher because it's a book, and you need to hear thoughts of the main. You don't need to, but you hear thoughts of the main character, and that I'm going to say this might not fucking translate into a Netflix series. Inner monologue, isn't always going to be your thing, or saying your monologue out loud as you do stuff. That's a video game trope. May not work too much in TV. So it could just be that he was like, I'm just trying to make this character true to its origins, and they were like, Henry, we're very fucking excited that you agreed to be in this, and it's fucking great for us that you're in this, but we're not going to do any of that shit. Like, we're just not going to, and it's fucking annoying that you keep talking about it. And maybe Henry Cavill was just like, I'm going to go be Superman and, like, not be mad at this show anymore. And maybe that's all it is. Again, Witchers read a lot of books. Yeah, it's just like, I totally understand when you are the face of a product and you are out there and you have a reverence for the source material. And I have to say this. The source material exists so that you can make your adaptation. And being true to the source material is different than being held hostage by it. And for better or worse, right? Like, Chainsaw Man, in my opinion, is a disappointing anime adaptation because it is stuck in what the creators of the adaptation think they have to do to make a big, cool, like, prestige television anime adaptation. And it's not it's violent, but it's not gritty. It's not funny as funny. It's not Dorohedoro, which is an unbelievably great anime adaptation of the source material that's using the medium of animation to further the manga, and that's just my opinion on, right now. My opinion on Chainsaw Man is, I think the characterizations are solid, but I think it's very much a victim of its own success. Like, the source material is so good and so well regarded that we're getting an anime adaptation that its biggest strength is it is a very cool opening. Like, that opening animation is awesome. And I don't know if Chainsaw Man, the animation, the best case scenario for it is that you have not read the manga. And that is damning to me because the manga is awesome. But if you don't know anything, if you just know Chainsaw Man, I've heard it's good, I'm going to watch the anime, haven't read the manga. If you haven't read the manga, I think Chainsaw Man is probably the anime of the season. So it's going to be weird because it's like anime only will love it. But if you like the manga, I don't know. Maybe you like it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one who's overthinking it. But my vibe on it is just like, I think you guys y'all dropped the ball on this one. I don't know. That's been my feeling on it. Because it was that thing where I was just like, I was getting psyched about it. And then I started being like, I don't know if I'm psyched about this anime. Huh. And I didn't know what it was. Wasn't sure. But that's kind of where I'm feeling. Now, I'm hearing interesting things about Bocchi the Rock, which I have not watched, but I will be watching the first episode for this weekend. I have decided that I don't think I'm going to continue watching the farm anime because I raise my farm relating skills. Like, I don't particularly enjoy it. So I think I'm going to skip out on that anime. And I'm going to replace it with Bocchi the Rock, which is a 4-panel coma. So it's a joke manga. And a couple of friends of mine have been saying who've read it, I have not read it, have said that the animation and it is in some ways kind of shying away from some of it to make kind of its own thing. But mostly is just the medium works really well, whereas the 4-panel coma didn't really work too well to tell the story. And so I'm interested to check that out. I don't know. There's probably a My Mother's Basement, Jeff. did a video, which I have not watched yet, but I've been meaning to watch, about his frustration with people who are like going into Chainsaw Man and saying like, it's not that deep, bro. Like, you're reading too much into it. Who are basically like just really surface level enjoying that anime and seem to be pushing back on people who are looking at deeper meaning behind some of the scenes and some of the moments in it, and that might be the divide between anime watchers and manga readers who are now watching the anime, and how like the anime people are wrong. And I'm like, I don't know if they're wrong. I think maybe the anime is wrong. I think that's where I'm falling down on. I got to give it more episodes before I can really get into it, but like, do not be surprised if a future Pat Bear's Anime Club is about this very topic, because I need to formulate more thoughts before I get into trying to sell this, because I do not... Look, Pat Bear's Anime Club occasionally dips into some things that are in the conversation, the discourse, you might say. But by and large, I have not been deep into the discourse, and I am very much afraid that if I do a Pat Bear's Anime Club, like with the thought, with coming into it thinking that I don't think this is a good anime adaptation, I am very afraid that I will 100% totally end up in the fucking discourse, which is not where I want to be. Like, the views are not worth it, in my opinion. Maybe they are, but I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing I've been thinking about a little bit there as I watch it. Because if it's just a violent spectacle, that's not really what I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for the other moments. I'm looking for the quiet moments. I'm looking for the sad, introspective moments. I'm looking for the silly moments. I'm looking for, like, character studies. And if it's just gonna focus on the violence of it, there's other anime that does that. That isn't based on a property that I think is pretty fucking cool. So I don't know. Again, I would not be surprised if I do a video on that, but I might wait until later in the season where maybe more people might agree with me. I don't know. I gotta watch Jeff's video. Shouldn't really talk about it without having watched it. I do think that he's wrong, and I do think that he wants it to be a good anime. So that is definitely like kind of coloring his impressions of it. But of course he wants it to be good. He likes it. I want it to be good too. I just don't think it is. We'll talk more anime in the second hour. Right now, why don't we talk about some manga? We're gonna jump into the manga portion of the stream. We talked about the Super Game. We talked about EA. I got some video games to talk about later. Let's get into it's Manga Monday, friends. So we're gonna talk about a manga that I have been reading called. It is a kicked out of. It's in the kicked banished subgenre, and it is called "After Being Deported from the Country, I Became the Fourth Enchanter in the World." And there's probably more to the title. I can't remember that. I'll give you that. Legs are done, by the way. We did the legs. Legs are done, man. Now it's time to work on the waist so we can be body complete on this kit. We need D and A and B. So let's get this going while I tell you about after being deported from the country, I became the 40th in the world. So, this is a isekai. It's not only a banished anime, it's or manga, I should say. It's also a isekai. So we've got Saito Jinkaro, Jink, and he's hit by a truck at the age of 30. He dies, and then he enters the body of Jink Norland, who's 14. So he has to get immediately used to the fact that he is now in a new body, and he is in a fantasy world, and he's got to get used to all that. And he's the son of an aristocrat. He's son of a duke, and he was one of the Royal Highness's escorts. He's bad at it. So the real Jink has just been very unhappy in his life, and it's kind of shitty because he was born into a family of spear users, but his spear skills are lacking, right? So he's just like, well, I can't really do it this. So, he's always kind of felt bad. Now that we have our main dude, we have Jink is our main guy in there. He's just like, oh, all right, I've been kicked out of the guard. Sure, okay. And then turns out he has been kicked out of the country, the very country that he was in. They're going to deport him. Later finds out they made up some stuff about him, like poisoning his father, and they tried to come up with this whole elaborate story, and they were going to give him a rub. Basically, it seems like they were going to try to make it so he didn't actually get out of the country, or that he failed to leave in a proper manner so they could imprison him. They're fucking him over. Here's the thing. Our boy, Jink, our dude Jink, turns out, is actually an enchanter, a mythical job skill. And he's like, all right, well, I don't want them to know that, so I'm leaving. Bummer to leave my younger brother, but I'll enchant some gear and send it to him later. And as he's enchanting, he levels up really quickly. He also enchants all his own gear. He can make cards that can show his level, which is very handy, and people are psyched about that. He enchants some gear for some nice people he meets along the way, and they help him because they're very high rank. They help him get out of the country safely because they were for some reason giving him a hard time for no apparent reason. We don't know why. And then he leaves. And then he enters another country and declares himself an enchanter when he also proves how strong he is. And so that kingdom is just like, we would love you to fucking stay, man. Do you want to stay in this country? He's just like, yeah, I do. And they're like, great. That sounds fantastic. Meanwhile, word gets out that our boy is an enchanter. And they're like, bring him back. And they're like, I don't know how the fuck you want me to bring him back. And then the prince, who, originally fired him, is like, this is great news. He's an enchanter? That's excellent. Because that means I also could become an enchanter. And my dad, the king, could become an enchanter. Because our boy, Jink, is actually the illegitimate son of the king. He had a non-consensual affair with a woman. And Jink, and they didn't know what to do with the kid. So they just stuck him underneath a baron who treated him horribly and seems to have forgotten all that. And the prince fucked up because everyone was just like, what are you saying? So not only, what's going on with this? This is a scandal. What are you doing? They're on the ropes. And they're like, we got to bring him back. But they're not going to be able to because he doesn't want to come back. Because why would he? Meanwhile, his younger brother, who they're not actually related, he decides, look, we got to get out of here. Because this is, I think, a very fun scene where one of the guys that really likes Jink, who helped him out, is just like, yeah, we're definitely also going to leave because this country's doomed. No offense. And they're like, yeah, why don't you take us with you? We would like to enter slavery so that we can give up our position in this country, and then we would hope that you would sell us to Jink, which is just like, and that is a reaction. It's a wild reaction. The whole scene is just like, what are you talking about, kid? This is how I can make it up to my brother, who even though we're not related. It does explain why our dude was not good with spears, because he's not the son of the Duke. But you'd think the Duke would just be like, oh yeah, he's never going to be good with that. but apparently he was not pleased with the whole thing. Also, his mother got fucking poisoned and murdered, which is like by these people. So like, of course, like, why are you fucking around? So yeah, we left off where I left off with this translation is the brother and maid are making their way to go be with Jink. Was there another thing about? Oh yeah, also he did purchase people. He does have slaves. They were both, I believe, for destitute money, and he has healed them up so that he can go into dungeons with them and then earn more money. It's a whole thing. He's got a butler because he bought a cheap house that had spirits attached to it, and he cleansed them, and now they work as a butler. And yeah, it's a whole thing. The slave part, I was like, fuck. But right now, it's not the focus of the story. It's just a thing that happened. But yeah. I would say overall, after being deported from the country, I became the fourth enchanter in the world, is a fine enough series of an overpowered main character who doesn't seem to be garbage, but isn't my favorite dude. I would say if you like those kind of stories, check it out. It's not bad. Not the best. I think the characters around him are pretty good. So I would say, give it a shot. I want to hear from you, friends, because I haven't heard about this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Halloween. It's Halloween night right now. Happy Halloween, my friends. Do you have Halloween memories that you were like, oh, Pat, yeah, man, I gotta talk to you about this. I had this costume and it was so fun, or I went to this Halloween party one year and it was like wild, or like whatever. If you've got anything like that, I'd love to hear from you, because it's fun to hear what you're, about that. I will say, I tweeted about this. You can find it on my Twitter. My big favorite Halloween things have always been, for many years, I worked at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, as many of you know, and there was a time when I worked in our location, East Village, Avenue A, and First Street. And people would take their kids to Avenue A to walk up and down the businesses and go into the businesses to get candy instead of like doing in their apartment buildings or whatever. They would walk up and down the street. Some were local, some probably traveled to there. That was just like a thing you could do. So the first year I was just hanging out. I wasn't working, and all of a sudden kids started showing up because in Chelsea we didn't have anybody that came because you had to like walk down a staircase. Maybe you didn't know there was a business there. We didn't have that. We had it here. So I just decided that I would fill up a bucket of fire bucket filled with candy, and then I would just go out there and wait, sorry, let me just see how this looks. Trying to figure out this. Okay, I think I did it right. I would just go out there with some candy and hand out candy to the kids, and it ruled. And I did that years. There were years where I would be working on Halloween, and so I would just do it beforehand. And then there were years where I didn't have any work, and I just came in. Having a big bucket of candy that you could then refill like over and over again and just hand out candy to whoever is a really fun feeling. Buying a lot of candy and then getting reimbursed by your job is also a great thing because it was like, it's like, well, we're going to do this, and this is like community or whatever. It was really nice, and just like, I don't know, it's fun. Like, one of the things I like to do for that I would and I like to hear favorite costume, least favorite costume, a story. I would love to hear you share that in the chat if you would like. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would certainly like to hear it. If you have anything, even just like, yeah, well, last time you wore a costume, what was it? That kind of thing. But I always try to address the kid as the character they were. So just be like, oh, what's up, dinosaur? Or, hey, what's going on, Batman? I would just say the name of the thing because to me, acknowledging it, I hope would mean a lot to a kid. Because it meant a lot to me when I would wear a costume and somebody would know what I was and say what I was. That to me always felt super cool. So I wanted to kind of like pay that forward a little bit if I could. And there'd be times where I'd just be like, I don't know what this is supposed to be, or like, oh, I don't know the name of that dog from Pound Puppy, or not Pound Puppies, but like, I don't know the name of this dog from this show about the rescue animals. So I'll just be like, oh, we got a rescue dog here. It's like, because I don't know the names of them. Because I don't have little nieces and nephews at the moment. So I don't know. But it was a fun time. It was like my favorite Halloween stuff. I do have a photo posted of me as a kid dressed as Batman, and it's like almost pajamas basically, and like it doesn't have the full cowl. It just has like the little face mask, but it's like cute and fun. And then I've done some just like I've been like, oh, I got this witch costume, or I got this like ghoul costume or whatever, or like one year I didn't want to wear a costume, but I want to have something, so I just got those like tattoo sleeves, and I just wore tattoo sleeves. I was like, oh, I'll just do that. That's a fun, silly thing. But I did that 1 year, and I thought that worked out pretty good. Last Rick says, don't have a lot of big Halloween memories. When is T800 once with like melted flesh or whatever. I kept that mask well after and had accidentally stained my closet wall. Oh no, that's awful. Yeah, 1 year I had I went as like a steampunk cowboy, kind of like Briscoe County Jr. inspired. That did not work out great. It was fine, but it didn't work out great. People were trying to guess what I was from, and I wasn't from anything. I was just going for a vibe. I did a Lego piece 1 year, which is just like spray painted blue cardboard with solo cups. It's like a 6 thing. I just did that. I thought that looked pretty good. It wasn't great. It looked okay. 1 year I went as a poster of a thing that happens at UCB is, or it happens, I don't know if they're going to do it in the future. If you were on a house team, you had a photo, and there was a poster of the 6 teams that performed at that theater, and I just printed out the team photos and then attached it to my shirt, all 6 of them, and I just went as the poster because I thought that was a silly idea, but also very easy, and I just used the printer. I thought that was a nice little last-minute costume. Originally, we were all going to dress in black and red and be... because we didn't have a uniform at UCB. But another theater in New York, the Pit, the People's Improv Theater, they did have a uniform. Everyone who worked there dressed in black and had some kind of red of like a tie or something. And so we were going to do that. We were all going to dress in black with like a red accent and dress as those employees. But we did not end up doing that. People decided they didn't want to do it. And so then I just printed out stuff. I showed up with my red tie, but I didn't want to be the only one doing it because that felt like me being a dick. I also want to hit the old applause there. Thank you very much, Dirty. Subscribe for 39 months. Dirty, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime, using your Prime gaming token, and being a subscriber for 39 months. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. I guess people don't have a bunch of Halloween memories and stories to share with me, which is okay. You don't need them. But if you had them, that would be cool. But you don't have to. You don't have to have them. PC5, great. And now just like, I don't know, I stream on Halloween or I stream the day before Halloween. That's kind of like where we're at right now. Happy to be here on Halloween evening with all of you. No trick-or-treaters came to the house. In this neighborhood, there are a couple kids, but they don't come here. I think they do school-related stuff. They do like that. Which also means that we don't put the lights on and we don't buy candy. So I don't get to have candy here. Tomorrow... I will see it while our folks are out. Maybe we can get some discount Halloween candy, perhaps.
And I think that would be rad if we get some discount Halloween candy, because I'm always a big fan of that. But yeah, didn't get any trick-or-treaters. We don't get them here. It's a shame. I miss handing out lots of candy to kids because it's fun and cool. Every time people talk about time in months or years, I hear it in the voice of Jeremy Piven from Grosse Pointe Blank. All right, I get that. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I do remember that reference. Oh, yeah. More candy for... Well, that's the thing, Lord Crashin. We didn't buy any candy. Because kids don't come, we don't put our outside lights on. I lit the pumpkin because we had, like, company come over for a little while and hang out. But they didn't... My mom, like, had a friend come over for coffee and to catch up. But they didn't have any candy. They had cake, which is fine. We have cake in the house. But I don't want cake. I want Kit Kat bars. I'm going to try to buy discount Kit Kats tomorrow. I think that's my thing. I think that's what I'm going to do is try to buy discount Kit Kats. Live in an apartment complex, so no trick-or-treaters here. Also, according to Experian, there's a whole lot of SOs in my area, so don't think there are kids wandering around. Okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah, you know, if you live in an apartment complex, it's like maybe some people, maybe like management put some candy out in the lobby for the kids, you know? You know, some buildings do that. Or they'll do something where they're just like, hey, you know, if you got kids, come to the courtyard at 6 p.m. and trick or treat for the different houses. Like some apartment complexes do that. Others don't do any of that shit. And you would barely ever know your neighbors. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap up our Halloween talk. Hopefully I remember to take these off at the end of the stream because I don't want to wear them tomorrow for Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. But I did go in the office today and there were multiple managers running around throwing candy at everyone. That's fun. I like that. I have never worked in an office that did that. Like I said, the closest thing was buying candy and all that. Although we did have people who'd just be like, hey, do you want some candy? Like people would do comedy shows on Halloween and throw candy into the crowd. And then you ended up inevitably picking up candy that people didn't pick up. And then free candy. Now is a part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support me financially. Because that would be neat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. Becoming a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. It's the last stream of the month, so, you know, hey, maybe you want to become a subscriber right now. Get into it. You can use your Prime Gaming token like Dirty did, or Cash Money. Become a subscriber that way. We're at 30 subscribers. We want to hit 40. It's the last day of the month, so don't... I would say probably today is not the great day to gift a sub if you want to be on the gift sub leaderboard because it'll go away tomorrow. But maybe you still want to gift a sub to community because you just think it'll be nice. Get that end of the month. You'll be there today. You know, you give one gift sub and you're in the leaderboard. Bits and coins also always appreciated. That's the way to support me via Twitch. This whole thing, right? There are other ways to support me financially. And the other way is Patreon. If you're like, well, Pat, it's the last day of the month, so I don't want to join your Patreon. Don't worry about it. Because it's monthly payments now, not on the first payments. So if you join today, you won't get charged again. You won't get charged tomorrow. You'll get charged again at the end of the month. So it's on a cycle. It's on a monthly cycle, and you pay that. Instead of ever always paying on the first, you just pay at the date you subscribe. If it's not a 31st month, you pay on the 30th, and that's how that works out. So consider joining my Patreon. I got different tiers, different rewards to the different tiers, $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. My $10 patrons just voted on what I'm building next. The Gelgoog is the next kit that I'll be building, which we might get started with tonight. But yeah, take a look at that. See if there's something you'd like if you want to join me over on Patreon. We're going to get through this quick, and then we'll get back to building. Also, I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. Watch the videos I put up there because that's an easy way to support me. It doesn't cost any money. But if you'd like to join, you'll get a video tomorrow. I tried to automate this, and it failed last week, so I will post tomorrow on my own my Wednesday video. So instead of watching it on Wednesday like everybody else, you can watch it tomorrow. That's the least I can do. It's a pretty good one. I'm pretty sure it's information you didn't know before. So you check that out on my YouTube. And there's also one-time donations, because those are monthly ways to support me. But maybe just you want to do it just like once in a while. You want to throw me a couple bucks so I can, buy a new model kit or something. Check out my direct donations through Coffee and PayPal and Stream Elements. Everything I make through direct donations for YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watch my videos, it helps, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I take money out of that fund to buy model kits and equipment. This Shenlong, the kit I'm working on right now, I would not have been able to purchase this kit without your generous support. So thank you very much, because that came out of that fund, because I pre-ordered it. The Gelgog that I bought in, Gelgoog that I bought in New York, I would not have been able to buy that kit without your support, because I had money for my trip and then I have model kit money and they're separate. So I was like, well, this is a stream expense, not a I'm here in New York and it's expensive expense. So I was able to buy that kit and I was able to support a local business in my town that I love. Now, if you were like, Pat, that sounds great. You're going to work on that kit you bought in New York. It's from 2002. That's wild. That's fun. What about something that I buy for you? I would love to buy you a model kit for you to build. Well, you can check out my Amazon wish list and see if there's something there. If you buy something on the wish list, it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build. As soon as I'm available to build a new kit, it becomes the thing I build because you paid for it, and that's awesome. I'll shoot a video for YouTube as well about the thing, an unboxing video basically called a mailbag, where I'll talk about it. I have Lego sets. Some good priced Lego sets right now. Small little kits, bigger Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, kits that are never on sale, kits that are on sale and have free Prime shipping. I have put back up the G Gundam Rising Gundam. This is a kit that is like, it's not a high grade, it's smaller than a high grade. I've built a couple of them before. The Rising Gundam was originally purchased by someone, but it got returned, basically. It just never fulfilled shipping, and they got their money back. So good on them. So I put up a note saying, like, this was purchased once off my wish list, but never arrived, and the buyer got refunded, so I put it back on there. Because otherwise it's going to be like, Pat, you already got this. I didn't ever get that. So I put that up, the Rising Gundam. I'd like to build that. That's $20 with Prime shipping. But yeah, I got a bunch of different model kits here. Inexpensive kits, expensive kits, some gear at the bottom, stuff that would be helpful for the stream, and also silly for the stream, like an on-air sign. I don't need that, but it's nice to have something. But see if there's something there that you'd like to see me build. If you want to buy something off my wish list, that would be rad. I also have a Throne wish list. I've never had anybody buy anything off my Throne wish list. It would be neat to have something get purchased there. Take a look, see if there's something there that you would like to see me build on stream, because it works the same way, except it's through Throne. And then also you can go to USA Gundam Store. You could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store and then send me a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code. And then I would take that gift card code and I would, of course, buy something from USA Gundam Store. And I won't pre-order, because then it'll just take forever. All right. Let's see. If you want to support me and not spend any money, we're going to get back to building real soon. Just want to go through these ads here real quick. I have a Discord. It's a nice little place. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. People post just stuff they think I would like to see, which has been fun. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I will have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club up next Monday. But right now I have the current Pat Bear's Anime Club, which I'm just going to verify that I wasn't supposed to put a new video up, because I think I put it up last week. Let's just make sure. I'm 99% sure that this Pat Bear's Anime Club, yes, it was up a week ago. Great. I'm not wrong. I'll new one up next week. But right now, if you want to know about all 5 isekai that are out this season, and if I'm watching them or not, take a look at that. See if there's something you'd be interested in. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I take a look at something from an article somewhere, often Wikipedia, and then try to remember everything from that article and then tell you about what I read. And I talked about H.R. Giger. Did I pick H.R. Giger because I was tired of hearing people say H.R. Geiger, and I knew that it's Giger? That's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons I decided to do that. Also because I think he's just a fascinating person, and Scorn came out. Scorn is heavily inspired by H.R. Giger. And a lot of people were watching Alien and Aliens, which he did the design for, of the alien. So it felt appropriate. I wasn't going to do a Halloween video, so that felt like the closest thing. I got a new one. My $5 and $10 patrons tomorrow, and my $2 YouTube subscribers will see that video tomorrow, and everyone else will see it on Wednesday. And it's good. It's about a voice actress and singer. I'll give you the tease there. Anyway, I'm going to drink some water because that's very important for me to do. And then we will talk about some anime and maybe some video games, probably some video games as well. But we'll also get into finishing up this model kit. But first things first, I got to drink some water and transition back to the overhead camera dramatically. Here we go. Dramatic. Throat's a little sore. I didn't talk much at all today. I think that's part of it. I didn't do vocal warm-ups today. I should have. I should have done vocal warm-ups today, and I chose not to. Which I like to think of as a fucking mistake. I will say that. Gotta do my vocal warm-ups if we're going to talk for 2 hours straight. Let me just check something really quick here. No, okay. And all right, let's get into it. Let's talk about some anime. It's all I've been waiting for. You want to hear my thoughts on Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witcher Mercury, Beast Tamer, and Management of a Novice Alchemist. I got to panel line this real quick, and then we're going to get body complete on this. Then we'll build a Gundam and some weapons. Sorry, a backpack and some weapons. So, if you're like, man, I really need to know about this guy Elon and what his deal is, Elon, I forget. I do forget. We're gonna go with Elon. I gotta learn how to pronounce this guy's name, because he seems like we're gonna see more of him soon. Anyway, this dude is just winning duels. He's just got like a cool mobile suit, and he's just like kicking ass and taking names, and it's like, oh wow, all right. And then we find out that he's piloting a Gundam, and he is he is a genetically modified human designed to pilot Gundams. Hey everybody, we got our artificially created new types in the show. It's happening. We got a new type warning. Anyway, he gets ordered to like, hey, go hang out with Soletta, and see what's up with her. Find out what's going on with her. He's like, sure, because he thinks maybe she's also a artificially created human, because of the way she pilots. And like, hey, do you want to go hang out? And a bunch of people are like, is this dude asking out Soletta? She is engaged. She is engaged to be married. Thank you very much. And also, someone else has proposed marriage as well. Thank you very much. But anyway, they hang out. He asks about Ariel, and she explains how she considers it part of her family. And then like, hey, let me like check this thing out. And he's like, okay, yeah, this is a Gundam, but it doesn't create data storms like other Gundams. So that means that she is not enhanced. She is not actually an enhanced human. And he's just like, yeah, we're not going to be friends. Fuck off. He didn't say fuck off, but basically he's just like, no, we're out of here. And that fucking bums her out because she didn't do anything wrong. And she's just starting to figure out how to make friends. And let's be real, some of her friends suck ass because they're not good at being friends, or they're her friends, but like not like because they're all like, we have things in common that we like about each other. It was like, you defeated me in a duel, or you defeated my friend in a duel, or, well, I don't like I'm pro Earthling, but you also get mistreated. Like, she didn't have a lot of close friends. Anyway, fucking Ghoul, our boy Ghoul is just like, hey, duel me. Uh, um, and then, hey, guess what? Yeah, he's got a Gundam, and the music is very good in this. It's really well done. Oh, I should put the legs on first. It's very well done. The action is cool. This is one of the most one-sided mobile suit fights I've seen in a very long time. Ghoul, sometimes he's had cheat. He's been able to cheat even though he didn't want to cheat. Cheats were happening on his behalf. Not this time. Dude gets his ass kicked like convincingly and easily. 100%. It's an ass whooping. And then our Gundam pilot challenges Soletta for possession of Ariel because he knows that's a Gundam. So he's just like, hey, I want that shit. Which is maybe going to happen in our next episode. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe she'll say, no, why would I do that? Maybe she'll whoop his ass. Or it'll be a close fight. I don't know. It does seem weird that a series that is basically like Gundams are the enemy of everyone, that there's a genetically engineered Gundam pilot just hanging out. That felt weird to me. Maybe that's not weird, but it felt weird to me. Anyway, we got our mobile suit. Speaking of Gundams, I got a Gundam finished right here. Check out our Gundam. There's our Gundam hanging out. We got to put a backpack on this kit and then some weapons, but we are body complete. And now let's talk about Beast Tamer, everyone's favorite hit anime series. You're not watching it. It's fine. I like it, so I'll happily talk about it. Okay, so this is all action. The entire episode is a big fight. And if you like overpowered main characters beating the shit out of jerks, this is going good for you. I will make a comment here on Lashbrook saying, interested to see the fallout of this. This seems very like a naked move from one of the houses. Yeah, the Bell House, and hard to cover up the fact that it's a Gundam. Yeah, it's going to be real hard for everyone to cover up this is a Gundam. Unless she, wins in a way that makes it seem like it's not a Gundam. This feels weird. It'll be interesting to see next episode. See what happens there. Anyway, so Beast Tamer, our boy, Rain, the cat spirit, and the dragonoid. The cat spirit, Kanade, and the dragonoid, Tanya. They're just heading out on an adventure, and then they get stopped by the Heroes Party. The Heroes Party want Rain to join them again so they can conquer the Lost Woods because they keep getting stuck in the Lost Woods, and they think that Rain will be able to figure it out. And then their plan is to use him so they can get the shield that's in there, so they can defeat the Demon Lord at some point. They need that shield. But really, they're just also then we could just ditch him later. They have full plans to just ditch him once they're done with that job. And they're like, hey, sorry about all that. Clearly they are not sorry. Clearly they are shit lords being shitty. And Rain at first is no, I'm not going to do that. You dismissed me. I've got companions now. I'm good. But they're insistent. They're we really need your help. And so Rain's yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But Kanade and Tanya are no. At first, you gotta apologize. You need Rain. He doesn't need you. You gotta apologize for it. And in fact, you gotta get on your hands and knees and grovel and beg. And if you do that, then we'll be cool. Because our master's too nice, but we demand it. And the Heroes Party's just what? No, what are you talking about? No, we're not going to apologize to Rain. He's weak as hell. What are you even talking about? And then the hero, who Like, I understand he's strong, and he doesn't know that Rain is strong now. But he does know that a Dragonoid, like, Rain is strong enough to have tamed and made a contract with superior species, like incredibly strong people. Like, hey, maybe there's something to this. Maybe you don't want to horribly insult them and call them pets and just be an asshole. And then Rain just punches him in the fucking face, which is awesome. And he goes down, and he's like, can't believe this shit. And he's just like, nah, all right, now it's brawl time. We got ourselves a fight. So, Kanade, the fighter, she takes on the warrior in the party and just whoops his ass. At one point she's like, all right, I guess I'll use like, I don't know, like half my strength. And he's just like, what are you talking about? Just like cleans his clock, takes him out. Good matchup for her. Great matchup for Tanya, because she can cancel out magic that is lower tier than her magic. So the mage and the cleric or the priestess can't do shit against her at all. She just cancels all of their magic, and they keep trying more magic, and it keeps not working. And she's just like, come on. So she's just taunting the shit out of them. And then eventually she's like, I'm going to use some I'm going to use some strong magic on you guys instead. And they pass out. Like, she's just tricking them. She doesn't actually want to do that. Because she knows that Rain would get mad if he, like, killed them. Meanwhile, in a fight, a fist-to-fist fight, you know, the hero's strong, but not as strong as Rain. Rain is way stronger than he is. But then our hero, starts using magic, and Rain can like kind of hold his own with magic. Like, he's better at it than he used to be, but he doesn't know like high. He's got a lot of like power behind his low level spells, but he doesn't know bigger spells. But while he's been like dodging and like taking a little like clothing damage and like maybe a couple cuts here and there, and like really controlling the pace of all this and like not really giving a shit, while he's doing all of that, he's also been forming a contract with a bee that paralyzes our guy, our hero. And he's just like, yeah, I had some, while it's such a fucking baller thing, because he's like, yeah, while I had some time during our fight, I just like searched out for a contract for something I needed and found somebody that wanted to help me, and there we go. Now I can do that. It's just like such a like, fuck you. You were not a concern. I had time to make a friend. It's such a fun thing. And just whoops his goddamn ass. And then he really should have punched him, but doesn't. And that's it. And then they celebrate. The guy kicked out of the hero's party and his contracts just whoop the ass of the people who are supposed to defeat the Demon Lord. And I mean, Rain should probably just go and defeat the Demon Lord, really, if you think about it, but whatever. And I know what happens next, and it's fun. We're going to get into some stuff in the future that's good in this manga, because I've read the manga. But yeah, I like it. I think Beast Tamer is a good series and totally worth checking out. Okay, so we can put the blade in there. We're gonna put the. It's not the trident, that comes later. We just got our beam blade here. That's right. It's just a beam spear, and then it's a trident in the Altron, and then it's a double trident in the Nautiku. So we'll put that there for now, and let's build the shield, which is the last thing we need to build, which is just 3 pieces. You may have noticed stickers stopped on the shoulders, basically. Once we put the shoulder stickers on, we have not had any stickers since, which is pretty cool to me. I need 1 piece from B. All right. 4 pieces of this shield. Sorry, not 3 pieces, 4 pieces. And then management. Hey, here's a weird thing. Management of a novice alchemist is a little bit more capitalist than I would have thought. It's a cute girls doing things anime, and that's good. I like it. I like the characters. It's fun, but it's a little bit like it's one thing to be like, yeah, I'm a business owner. I have to stay open. It's another to be like, what can I do to help the town so that the town can start making more money? Because there's not a lot of money moving around in this town because everyone barters. And it's like, but it's working. Why? Like, that's the end of this episode where I'm just like, well, why do they need more disposable income? Like, why are they going to work on projects for you so they can earn more money that they don't need? It was an odd thing where I was like, I mean, all right. I mean, I'm no economist, but that feels like unnecessary. Like, this just feels like a thing we're doing for whatever. But anyway, get into it, and then we'll assemble this, panel line it, and then we'll move on to getting some photos in of it. I'll just put it down so you can see what it looks like here. Anyway, Sarasa needs to come up with products to sell to the villagers. That's her next thing, is that, you know, she's got stuff. In this series, they call adventurers gatherers. So she's like, okay, well, you know, I can sell stuff to the gatherers, but I also want to have some things to sell to the villagers. And she settles on like, oh, well, because they're farmers, maybe they would want, because there's bugs out there, bug repellent, like veils, like the kind of hats, like a little bit like a beekeeper thing, but just like a hat to help keep bees away from you. But she's going to need spite worms in order to make that. And she's got, you know, two gatherers that owe her money. So she's like, all right, well, I'll have Iris and Kate kind of go out there and get that done. But then they're kind of like brainstorming some other stuff. She's like, also like, oh man, it's so weird that I can't find any fangs from frost bats around here, because there should be frost fang bats around, and that could help me make a magical refrigerator that I need, you know, with alchemy. And they're like, well, we know where they are, but we don't hunt those bats because there was a guy that, you know, we used to hunt them, but the alchemist we sold to in the next town, you know, kept saying how they weren't worth anything, and it managed, you know, now it's not worth getting them. And then basically Cyrus is like, oh, you got ripped off. And she knows because it's the dude that, you know, tried to take advantage of her in the last episode. And she's like, oh, no, you got ripped off. This shit is worth money because, like, and I'll teach you. So basically the whole episode is sort of like them going in a cave and dealing with these bats and, like, the techniques, and they almost get in some trouble, but not really. And Sarasa, like, gives, like, demonstrations. Also, while she's doing it, she also, like, uses the gloves that have a little bit of alchemy in them, and they don't tear, so you can touch a bunch of stuff and work, but they're easy to work with. And so one of the dudes that's with them, one of the gatherers, is like, yeah, that's worth it. Huh, okay, the price. She's like, well, if you want to have some other gatherers buy, I can give you a bulk price. And it's just like, oh, this girl knows what's up. She is a shrewd business person. Meanwhile, the leftover parts of the bats, well, you can put those bat wings on a hat, and it will make a cooling hat. And maybe people in town would like that. Turns out they really would like that, and they would happy. But that means that she can only make so many of them because she has to make the hat. But the hat is not, alchemy is not related for the hat. The wing part, or the bat wing part, is alchemy, but the rest of it is just making a hat. And so they're like trying to figure out other products, and they kind of come, like I said, they kind of try to come up with a product that they could sell in, like, that would involve the town, like a specialty the town could make, to kind of help them have stuff they could sell at other towns and have a little bit more income. All right, we are body complete on this kit. I'm going to take 2 photos of this, and I'll show you as I take them. Oops. Let me just get that in there. All right, and then let's get the camera here. Got to take a couple photos. So yeah, that basically, like, they all kind of just, they have to figure out what the town could make, and the idea they come up with is, okay, well, let's commission ladies in town to make hats, and I will do the alchemy, and I will handle selling, and they can come up with a price to sell to me for these hats. And then I'll pay them what it's worth, and I'll take the risk on. And the mayor is like, all right, yeah, sure, you can do that. So that is what they're gonna end up doing, which is weird because it went from like, oh, I need to like have stuff to sell. It went from that to, okay, now I need to have stuff that other people in the town can sell, and it got, I don't know, a little bit more capitalistic than I was imagining we were going to get in this particular series. I'm going to show off the cool arm thing here. You see there that our arm becomes a dragon. It's a dragon. I'm going to take the hand off. Because if I was going to display this, I would want to display it with a cool arm. And the thing on the back there. Well, yeah, let's get that going. And then take a photo of that. And then this kit will be done. And we will have completed this kit. Photo. Great. This is our Shenlong Gundam. It's a 2022. It's a new mold for this kit. Highly recommend it. That was the end of me talking about that anime. Highly recommend it. I think it is a very cool looking kit. I am very pleased with it. It just turned out really well. Looks good. Looks good as hell. If you like Gundam Wing, I think the 2021 and this 2022, the Heavy Arms, the Death Scythe, and this are all top-notch new molds of the classic kits. So I recommend it. I have the Heavy Arms Custom, the one with the double barrel. That's basically just the Heavy Arms and then like a couple new pieces. I have that. Have not built that yet. Hopefully we'll be building that in the future. Hopefully that'll win a poll at some point for my patrons, and I will be able to build that because my $10 patrons just don't vote on that kit, which is fine. They don't have to vote on that kit. But I'm like, sooner or later they'll pick it, and I'll be able to build it. This was a fun build. I like the Shenlong a lot. It's a good-looking kit. Happy to put it together on stream for you. And now, I guess we'll get into the Gelgoog. We've got some time left in the stream. I'm done talking about anime. Got through all my anime talk. So let me just clear some stuff out of here. I don't need... There's a few extra parts here, some different hands. There's some parts... there are some parts that are going to be used for what I assume is going to be the Altron. I assume they will make an Altron. Because some of these parts are definitely from the Altron Gundam that we didn't use in this build. That is my guess anyway. I don't have definitive proof of that. At the very least, they're opening the door for that. It might just be a premium Bandai thing, like the Heavy Arms Custom is. But it feels like they're setting themselves up to do that if they wanted to. All right, so we got to bring in the Gelgoog here. We'll get the Shenlong out of here. This is the Gelgoog Marine. This is the kit from the year 2002. Get this over here. Our parts here. 2002. We'll put that so you can take a look at it as I get my parts sorted here. This is some old ass plastic. Now, this is from 2002. The Gelgoog. It is a fun word. The Gelgoog is based. This is the Gelgoog Marine. It is based on the Gelgoog High Grade, which is from the year 2000. So most of these parts are actually from the year 2000, not 2002. And that's going to be interesting to see how this builds. So we'll kind of get this assembled here. It does have some stickers, not a lot of stickers, just 3, which is great. And you can tell it's from 2002 because these are not numbered. They have symbols, and so we'll see how that goes. Plenty of polycaps. These polycaps feel very old. This is a 1999 polycap set. Yep, that seems about right. I love all the colors on the Gelgoog Marine. It's just a great looking kit here. We've got C. We've got A. Good beams. Some good colors here. And then we've got B, and we've got, what is this? Where are you? Where are you? Why can't I? Oh, E. There's E. I couldn't find the. I could not. Is that Google backwards? No. Aristophan. It doesn't feel. It doesn't feel great. I will say this plastic does not feel fantastic. I didn't mean to rhyme there. This does not feel excellent. This feels okay. We'll get a better sense of it when I start clipping stuff out. I'm not feeling like, woo, this is incredible plastic here. This is not top grade. It'll be interesting the rubber feels not particularly excellent. I'll say that. This doesn't feel particularly great. The rubberized plastic here, not real rubber. But yeah, the Gelgoog does have it is very fun to say. This manual is like, there's not a lot to it, but the photos here are fantastic. The different style of art here, of the renders of what the kit is going to look like. I just love the weapons. It does have a weapon weapon should be this color, but isn't. It's the color of the armor because it's from the previous, and we probably won't even build it because we're building the marine type, not the regular Gelgoog. It is also just fun to say Gelgoog. It's just fun to say, out loud. But yeah, it doesn't even tell you. It does show you the weapon here, but it's not the right color because they did in that printing. Not a lot of steps to this, but we'll get into it. We're gonna build some of these parts 2x2 and all this. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get into this. We'll get a little bit on the Gelgoog started here. I don't even have. I guess I can edit this just because we've got some time here. So I'll just edit this to say /Gelgoog Marine. Gelgoog Marine. Oops. There we go. Gelgoog. It's a terrible. It's a great bad name for anything. Gelgoog. Oh, I'm dropping some frames there. Yikes. Hopefully everything's cool now. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's get into this kit, this old ass kit. I'm gonna drink a little bit more water just for a second here. Yeah, our polycaps are not numbered; they are letters, and our stickers are very few, and they have some symbols there, so we'll have to be careful. We're starting by building. We're building one of the legs. And then we're gonna build like both of the feet, and then we'll complete a whole leg, and then we'll build the other parts of the leg that we didn't build before. It's a weird system where why not just start with the 2 feet? Like we should just do that. We should just do step 4 right now and do the 2 feet because like that way it's easy to accomplish and we're not doing extra work here. But yeah, let's just build both feet. We're gonna jump ahead a little bit here because we don't have a lot of time. We needed those frames. Sorry about that, Lord Grashton. We did drop a few. Yeah, so I bought this kit in New York. You may remember that. While I was in New York, I went to a shop because I was looking to pick up a model kit. I wanted to shop locally. There's nothing in my area. Aristophan, the oldest kit I built was Char's Perfect Grade, right? Yeah, the Char, because I believe that's the. Ooh, no. So, that's the one I can definitely tell you I believe is the oldest kit. So let me just see. Char Zaku to PG. I believe that is one of the oldest kits I've built, if not the oldest. Let's see. When did that come out? Okay. I don't remember when that came out, but like, let me look up on Perfect Grade. Let's see. Gundam Wiki is going to tell me when that came out because I built an original, not a re-release. So Charzaku 2 came out in 1999. That is a wrist fit. I can tell you that is the oldest kit I've built as far as model and release was a 1999 Perfect Grade because it is the actual one from 1999. Now, just this year, or just this month, actually, this month, I did build that kit that was 1982 parts, but re-released in 2005. So I think the plastic was 2005, but the design was 1982. So I would say the Prometheus type was probably from Zabungle was probably like the oldest design I've ever built. Because I don't think I've built any. Ooh. The non-graded G Gundam kits might actually be older than the Perfect Grade. And I have built a couple of those. Let me see if I can look up the non-grade. Now I'm really interested in this. If I can look up the... so let's see here. Which ones have I built? I built the Neo-Russia one, so let's look up that. Let's look up Argo. Let's see if I can find his mobile suit. The Bolt Gundam. Let's see. When did the Bolt Gundam come out? Okay, yeah, all right. The G Gundam kits are the oldest kits I have built. Let me see which one I have built. Okay, yeah. They're all it's either the I have built the Maxter and the Dragon Gundam from 1994. So that is I can now say design is more important than the age of the plastic. Yeah. So the oldest design I've ever built is that Zabungle kit because that's 1982 design, but it was released in 2005, so it's most likely not plastic for 1982. The oldest actual plastic I know I have built are those non-graded, really tiny, low design G Gundam kits, and I've built from May of 1994 they were released. So those are the definitely oldest, actually because those are actually from 1994. They were not re-released later. I know those are from 1994, whereas I was saying 99 because I knew that to be true. So that hopefully that answers your question. That was required more research, immediate research than I would have thought I was going to have to make. But yeah, it's those non-grade, tiny, low detail G Gundam kits are from 1994, and those are definitely the oldest kits I've built. But the oldest design being the Prometheus kit from Zabungle. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. That was a question that I did not know the answer to off the top of my head. For a long time, I guess I thought that Char's Perfect Grade was the oldest kit that I've ever built. It's good to know. I'm sure someone else will ask me that in the future. Anyway, video games. We got a little time left on the stream. I'll talk a little bit about video games. Today I played more of Casey's mod. Casey's mod from Inscription. Once you beat the game, you unlock Casey's mod, and it is the endless mode. And I played some of that because I have not played Inscription in a while. Somebody on Jeff Gerstmann's Discord was just like, "Hey, it's out in a bunch of places if you wanted to play it if you want a spooky-ish game. It's card battling. It's pretty spooky. And I was like, oh, I should fucking play more Casey's Mod today. I spent yesterday playing Multiverses because a friend of mine really wanted to get some Multiverses in. And they were like, hey, Pat, we've played together before. Let's get back into Multiverses. And I was like, I mean, yes, I will. I will get back into Multiverses. So I played a bunch of Multiverses yesterday. Lord Crash says I got Inscription on my PS5 to start over. Still great. Hell yeah, it is. You know what's up. So yeah, I played some of that. Had a good time playing some Multiverses. Playing more Inscription, as I said. I'm still playing Marvel Snap occasionally. I don't play Marvel Snap every day. It is not my everyday game like Hearthstone is, where I basically after my lunch I will like try to finish whatever quests I have, my daily and my weeklies, and I play Hearthstone just about every day. I have not looked into, I believe it's tomorrow is the reveal of what the next expansion is. I believe that's tomorrow. It might have been today and I might have missed it, but I will tune in. I will check in. I think if it is tomorrow, then I can watch, or at least have it on and get a drop and get a free pack for watching. But I am interested in knowing what the expansion is because I enjoyed this mini set. I didn't love, but it did give me like a couple cards. I'm interested in that. Aristofan's never done Casey's Mod though. Oh, you should. I think it's fun. It's fun to play it. You're playing the card game. I started playing Signalis after watching Nick Thunder play it for like 10 minutes, and there's a real good survival horror game so far. Nice, Lashbrook. That's not my jam. That's not where. That's not how my butter is bred. My bread is buttered. I said it wrong because that's not a phrase I use. But yeah, that's not my thing. I'm not a horror game person, so you know, I like Inscription being an atmospheric video game, but I'm not looking for, you know, down that road for other kind of scary, creepy games. So but I'm glad that you're liking it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Wristfan is still playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Today, everyone wanted to give candy since Halloween. Hell yeah, that sounds neat. I like that. In Pokemon Go lately, there have been a lot of, well, there's some Pokemon, there's special versions of some Pokemon that have like Halloween stuff going on, but then also a bunch of ghost Pokemon we haven't seen in a while came back to hang out, which is great because I did not have enough for one of those Pokemon, and I was able to evolve a Pokemon that I needed more candies to evolve. And also one of the bat Pokemon, No Bat, that takes 400 fucking candies to evolve. And I've never seen locally. I've only captured, and it takes 5 kilometers to get a candy from. A few more of those hatched out of eggs, and I was very happy about that because, fuck, I don't want to like. That's just going to take forever. I think I'm still at like 200 something, so I'm nowhere near ready to get to evolve that goddamn Pokemon. Lord Crashington has been slowly going through all of the One Piece anime. Finally finished the Skypiea arc in One Piece and enjoyed that. The next thing that happens is that they drop out of the sky into a marine base to get wacky hijinks going. Yes. You know, things got a little heady and a little like, I mean, you know, it was goofy in some ways, but also like dramatic in others and kind of poignant towards the end. So then just get goofy, just start dealing with some stuff and dealing with some, hey, remember Marines? Get into some comedy. That is a good time. All right, let's clean these up, clean up these feetsies. I think that's all we're going to do for the Gelgog tonight is just get started there. I won't even take a photo of these yet. But I wanted to get started because we had time. I knew that we would finish the Shenlong tonight, but I didn't know if we were going to finish it early or whatever, so I didn't advertise that this is the next thing. Also, because my poll, I gave it time because I don't have a lot of $10 patrons, but only like 2 of them vote. So, and sometimes nobody votes in my $10 patron poll, and I just go in and vote for what I want to build next, which is fine because I'm able to vote in my polls. But I just don't want it to be end like nothing. And sometimes they're like not interested, right? Like, This is the oldest kit in my backlog. The kit that's been in my backlog the longest is the Ale Strike Gundam. And the kit that is the newest kit, and the kit that I've had for the least amount of time, which makes sense. But sometimes I buy old kits that haven't been in my backlog that long, is the Heavy Arm. So I just put all three up there, and I like that. I'm like, what's been in the longest? Because I bought it in 2021. What's the oldest? 2002. What's like the newest? What's the been in my backlog the least amount of time? Cool. And like I said, sometimes it'll be that, but sometimes like I buy kits that are from like 2014, but they've only been in there for a couple weeks. What if Luffy and Sanji return to a new kitchen and Sanji just destroyed all the cooking skills after they find out he's a pirate cook? Yes. Indeed. Yeah, what if they just go pretend to be Marines and just kind of goof around for a little bit and get some nonsense? I don't remember if this is the mini arc where you get like Ninja Luffy because he's like sneaking around and he's like being clever around some people. I think that might be a different arc, but that's a good Luffy, classic goofy Luffy. All right, I finished up these featsies, and we'll continue working on this. We'll go back and go back to step one. I just wanted to get something done on this. This color is great. We're just basically going to use black on all of this. I don't think we'll use any other color. Maybe we'll. Maybe, no. I think we'll use black on everything because we got gray, but it's a deep gray. Yes, that's right. They almost escape, and they're like, wait, let's not escape right now. I forgot about that. And there's so much One Piece. There's, 1,100 episodes or whatever. All right, so we're going to call it quits for the stream. I want to thank everybody for being here and watching the stream with me today. I got my keyboard there. We'll go over here to this. This is where Luffy is continuing to fill out what he wants for his pirate crew, his upgraded pirate crew. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We are, of course, going to end with a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find somebody in the community that we want to go hang out with and spend a little bit more time with because it is, of course, Halloween, and we should probably raid someone who's doing something spooky. So let's find out if Mary is playing a spooky video game, because I assume she is. We almost always raid Mary on Mondays because that's when, yes, she's playing Signalis. But we want to hang out with Mary for that because she's the best. We love Mary Kish, and she streams on Mondays, so we want to go give her a raid. Do you want to just quickly see what my buddy... Okay, I don't know what that means. Somebody I follow was doing something in a category they don't normally do, so I was confused. But yeah, we'll find out more about this game, this horror game. But yeah, Mary is in costume, indeed. So we're going to go hang out with Mary because Mary rules, and we like raiding Mary on a Monday. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. Thanks for sticking around and hanging out on my Halloween stream where I did not build like a spooky Lego, holiday Lego, which I've done in the past. I ran out of brick heads to build that were appropriate, and so we just built a kit that was fun. I finished the model kit. I want to thank everybody for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Come along on this raid. Come back tomorrow night for Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. Wanted to do it 2 weeks ago, but I was sick, so we're doing it tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.